Hello, good morning. So, the first Facebook Live of 2018, eh? Who would have thought that last week it was New Year's Day? Yeah, time is a slippery sucker, isn't it? But, of course, January, New Year, is full of fresh thinking and new starts, isn't it? Well, it should be, and it certainly is often when we start thinking about new starts. We get that fresh start feeling, don't we? You know, when you're at school and you go back in the beginning of the year and you get that new exercise book given to you, and it's clear, there's nothing on it, there's no crossing out, there's no mistakes, it's wonderfully fresh. Well, we have that kind of feeling, don't we, where everything is up for grabs because there is nothing on there that we regret saying, regret doing. It's all fresh and clean and new. And we get this kind of feeling a lot of the time, don't we, when we start something new, you know, like a new project. So how many of us get really excited when we start a new project because we're full of enthusiasm and we're full of anticipation and we really believe that, you know, we're going to make a go of this project, and we start it and it's all fresh and we start having wonderful ideas and insights, and then slowly doubt maybe creeps in, or maybe it doesn't quite go the way we wanted it to, and we start to get a little bit demoralised and a little bit bored with it, and we give up halfway through. I mean, this certainly happens to me because all that fresh, new, exciting feeling just kind of dissipates and disappears, and it goes back to being routine, it goes back to being normal. It's a bit like a diet, isn't it? You know, January is a great time for people to start diets. They want to get rid of all the excess over Christmas and New Year. So they start a diet. And every diet that everybody goes on is the one. This is the diet that's going to make sure that they lose the weight they want. And they get really excited, and maybe they fill their fridge up with lots and lots of green things that they don't really know what to do with or really don't want to eat. And then by the end of the week, they kind of throw them away looking a bit slimy or a bit yellow, because we have the idea that this is going to be good, this is going to be new, and we're enthusiastic again. And a bit like the exercise book, when we start a diet, this is a new thing for us. So we haven't fallen off the wagon, as if there was any such thing that you could do, or we haven't failed, again, as if failure really exists, because this is new and this is exciting. Hi, Tanya. And this is new and this is exciting, and we are so enthused by it for a day or two. And then again, this becomes kind of routine, it becomes a little bit boring, it becomes not what we thought it was going to, and that new fresh thinking we had starts to disappear, and we start getting the old thinking back, and on and on. So what is it about something that's routine that makes us lose this feeling, this excited feeling? I mean, it's a bit like relationships, isn't it? I can't tell you how many clients I've had over the years that have come to me saying, oh, I really thought this was the one, this new relationship. I put everything into it. I thought it was going to be fantastic, and it's turned out to be just like the others. Now, of course, when I start talking to them, it turns out that they've met somebody and they think this person is fantastic, and this person thinks they are fantastic. So my client then starts to exhibit all the best bits about themselves. I mean, of course, who wouldn't? That's what we do. So they exhibit the best, the kindest parts, the most loving parts, the most considerate parts of them. And any of the stuff that went with the old relationship, you know, any jealousy or moodiness or just bad behaviour, well, that's all in the past, isn't it? Because this is new. And that's fantastic. And of course, that person exhibits the best bits of them and the other person does it back, and it's wonderful. And then something happens that reminds my client, let's say, something happens that reminds them of the previous relationship. And suddenly all the old thinking comes back. Of course, the old thinking doesn't come back. It's just that we reignite it. We start having that kind of thought. We start going into that kind of feeling. And then we start behaving differently. So then we start maybe bringing back some of the old behaviours that we don't quite like, you know, the moodiness or the jealousy or whatever it would be. And then when we're not showing our best bits to the other person, guess what? They start showing us not the best bits of them. And then we start reacting to each other in a different way. And then our thinking starts, instead of thinking everything's wonderful, we start going into why we think this isn't right. And before you know it, it's gone. That is another past relationship. And the strange thing is that when clients come to me with this, until this is pointed out to them, they just can't see this. They just think it's the other person. Oh no, I've met another person that's like this. And how about jobs? Now, you must have had, it may have happened to you too, or you may have had a friend that's gone into a new job. And you know what it's like? They go into a new job and they're full of enthusiasm again. And you say to them, what's the job like? And they say, oh, I think it's going to be fantastic. You know, I've got lots to learn. And we like that. Human beings like to learn new things, like a bit of a challenge sometimes. So that's exciting. That's new. The people don't know us. So just like the relationship, we can exhibit the best bits of ourselves, and we can be new. So maybe we're again a bit late. Timekeeping wasn't so great in the last job, but this is different because I'm a new person, because this is a new job. And as I say, you say to the people like, oh, they're wonderful, they're really nice. And then maybe you don't see this friend for a few weeks, and then you bump into each other and you ask again, oh, you know, so what's the new job like? And they say, well, I thought it was really good, but actually it's turned out to be really boring. I'm just doing the same things every day. And you say, oh no, you know, but at least the people are nice. Well, no, they're not. I thought they were, but I think they were just pretending, because, you know, it turns out there's the office bore, or there's the boss that keeps picking on them, or there's a line manager that started to notice that the timekeeping isn't so good again. And before you know it, this job was just like their last job. And they can't see that the difference is them and it's not the job. They just so people think they go on the wrong diet. Oh, it's the wrong diet. It's the wrong project for me. Oh no, this wasn't the right relationship. I thought it was, but it's not. No, this job is just like the others. I'll just stay here for a while until I can find something new. Because we think new is good. It's like the things we want: a new car, a new phone, a new house, whatever it would be. People seem to think that that is going to be the answer to everything. I'll get this new thing and it will give me special powers. And have you heard the story of the two men that were being ferried over to an island where they were going to work for a few months? And the ferry trip took quite a long time. And one of the men went up to the ferryman at one point and he said, what are the people like on the island? And the ferryman thought for a little while and he said, well, what are the people like where you've just lived? And the man said, oh, they were awful. They were judgmental. They were mean-spirited. They just weren't nice to be around. And the ferryman thought for a minute and he said, well, I think you'll find that the people on the island are much the same. And then the time went on and the other man went up to the ferryman and he said the same thing. What are the people on the island like? So the ferryman looked at him and he repeated what he'd said to the first man. He said, well, you know, what were the people like where you've just lived? And the man said, oh, they were wonderful. They were the kindest people, the most considerate people. I've got so many friends there that I shall miss. And the ferryman looked at him and he said, well, I think you'll find that the people on the island are much like that. You see, it's not the new job on the island. It's not the new project, the new diet, the new relationship. That's not going to give you anything new. Every second, every nanosecond, you're free to have a new thought, fresh thinking. And when you have fresh thinking, you have that new feeling, that excited feeling. Every day is new. Every time you open your eyes in the morning, it's a new day. And you do not have to bring all your old thinking into this new day, this new job, this new project, this new relationship. Treat yourself to new, fresh thinking. Years ago, I went to see Pompeii. I went to visit Pompeii, and the guide was amazing. And he said, treat yourself to imagination. I loved that. So treat yourself to new, fresh thinking about whatever it is you're doing today or tomorrow or you want to do. Just have a new thought about it. Every day, every second, everything is new. Every day. You don't have to wait for a birthday or the new year to be the new you. You can be the new you right now. Okay, so I shall look forward to seeing you next Monday. Have a nice week. Bye bye.